It's Friday, May 24th, Saturday, May 25th. If you're on the East Coast, across the pond, or down under. And this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. Hope you had a great day and night. I am your host, Dave Scott, broadcasting to you live from the Great White North on top of the mountains of central British Columbia, right here at SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show, including Deep Talk Radio and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. It is under construction, but the Gavinator says, don't worry, people. It's a matter of days now. Tonight's show is brought to you by the YouTube channel Insuho. Sebastian Martin brings high-quality messages to the masses. Head to the Insuho channel and subscribe today. Regular guest Ian Holt is back tonight on the show as we are celebrating our birthdays with all of you. As Ian is a 72 edition, while I'm a 73. It's a tradition we started just a couple of years ago. So this is a show where we're going to have some special guests on with us. We're also going to take your calls as well at 1-702-302-4556. That call-in number once again, 1-702-302-4556. We're swapping paranormal and strange stories tonight. We want to hear yours as well, so join us for some woo. We got to hit that peak level tonight. And Mr. Ian Holt, happy birthday, my friend. Always a pleasure to be doing this show with you. But I got to tell you, Ian, I'm very, very happy about one thing tonight.
Tell me, birthday boy.
I am not doing the one chip challenge.
Well, considering you almost died last year, you almost left Dave live on the air.
Well, for people, our listening audience has gone viral over the last year. And last year, if you didn't tune into this show, I decided that I was going to do the Pocky One Chip Challenge, which I like hot sauce and I like hot food. And this Pocky One Chip Challenge was 1.9 million Scoville units. That was the hottest thing I've ever put in my mouth. I mean, in retrospect, it's like mixing lava with your ex-mother-in-law who you don't like, mixed in with a lot of hate, Satan's toe, everything involved. And I had to sit there for 5 minutes. It was the longest 5 minutes of my life, but I did it. I went through a 1 liter jug of chocolate milk in order to cool myself down. And I'm happy, and then I'm not doing it again this year.
And you ran out of the studio.
Yes, I did.
so confident and like, all we hear in the background.
You have no idea what pain is until you try that chip. But I was successful, so that's the big thing right there. How was your birthday, Ian?
My birthday was fantastic. My girlfriend, Pam Magic, cooked us up an amazing dinner, and we got me a cannoli cake, my favorite, and we had a great night. And my parents joined us. You know, my mom's 88, my dad's 92, so that they were still able to both be there and enjoy it. It was a great night. Thank you.
Very
and
cool.
It all off.
I had the second best birthday present I have ever had today. And that
What'd you get?
My family went away for the weekend. So I have the house. It's just me and the dogs. Hanging on out. And I get to do whatever I want for the next couple of days. So I'm looking at all my excitement here, man. And I'm mowing my lawn tomorrow while having a cold beverage. I got a riding lawnmower, man. It works for me. It's hillbilly, but it works for me.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Ian, you brought along a very good friend of yours. Why don't you introduce him?
Well, I would like to introduce to the Spaced Out Radio audience, who we all love so much, special for you guys and for this birthday special, the legendary, the one and only, one of the original 5 Def Jam recording artists with the incredibly classic original concept, former DJ for the Beastie Boys, and the star of Who's the Man, one of all-time classic films, comedy films, and the host of Yo MTV Raps, my friend, my brother, I love you, Dr. Dre.
Hello, fellows. Hello, hello. Happy birthday, you birthday crazy people. I've been sitting here, and thank you so much for welcoming me to Spaced Out Radio. And I even came up with a theme music before I came on the show. Would you like to hear some of it?
I would.
Absolutely.
I definitely would.
Okay, it goes 1, 2, 3. I'm spaced out, spaced out. That's where the fun is, spaced out. Spaced out radio show.
Uh-huh.
That's just a quick version.
I love it.
I think that blows away Bumblefoot. I don't know. I think
that's just a quick version. I worked the theme song thing. How you guys doing today?
Good. Very good. You got to compete, though, because we have another New Yorker who takes care of all of our music in former Guns N' Roses lead guitarist Ron Bumblefoot THAL, who's from Staten Island.
Oh, well, I can work it out with him. Because, see, this has a alternative rock theme. It also has a hip-hop bass theme. It also comes as a Flintstones theme, too. So it can work out.
Excellent. Excellent. I got to ask you, Doc, out of all the times that you've been around the world, touring around, being around music, what's the strangest paranormal experience you've had while on the road or on stage or doing something happening?
The strangest paranormal thing that I've had in all my travels around the world, honestly, it happened right here where I'm born and raised in Westbury, New York, basically where I actually saw figures and spirits in my backyard as a youngster. And they actually kind of looked at me, and I looked at them, and they kind of flashed and walked kind of really slow. And I'm sitting there, and you're kind of like going, "Wow, what's going on with this? And who is this?" And this is before you started doing the little whippets or smoking the smoky or drinking the drinky. You're just kind of sitting there, and you're like fascinated by it. And they kind of looked and they smiled and they waved, and then they dashed out like. Phew. I was like, okay, did that really just happen? What was that about? And I carried that most of my life, and I realized a lot of places I've gone. I've been in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard at different hotels, and I've always felt spiritual presence around me and could see, like, weird things. Because I'm one of those people that, after watching The Shining and reading the book The Shining by Stephen King, I always believe there's always some other embodies there. So I always kind of ask when I walk in and says, has anybody died in this hotel recently? And they go, no, we can't tell you that. We can't divulge that. I said, yeah, but I can kind of sense it. I feel it. Because I've sat in the lobby of the Mondrian, which is, I forgot what they call it now, which is across the street from the House of Blues. And I was sitting in the lobby waiting to get checked in. And I sat down and I swore I could feel a cold presence behind me. And it was kind of talking to me. And he said something about, he said, always take a corner room. Don't take the middle room. And I'm like, what does that mean? And then I realized what it was talking about. Like, because in the Mondrian, the corner rooms are like big suites. So you get to see, and it has all panoramic view outside, and you get to look down onto the pool. But in the middle rooms, they're all enclosed. And I found out that someone was murdered in the hotel, but they don't want to call it a murder. They said they found them, that they were deceased, but it was really a murder. And they wouldn't tell you what floor and what had happened, but it was very famous. And I was like, get out of here. So, you kind of want to avoid that. But it seems like spirits are always attracted to me for whatever reason. And
I think it's your grandmother.
What am I thinking? Well, I have my family spirits are closely around me. And I just recently, I had a dream, and I saw my deceased aunt who smiled at me and waved. And it wasn't strange because when she usually comes to me in this fashion, things in my life change for the better. And she always like throws a message out to me. But she was there, and she was there with my mother, and they were leaving out of a friend's house. And I said, wait, guys, no. He said, don't worry about it. You'll be here soon. Don't worry about it. You got plenty of time. I said, huh? I mean, there's plenty of time. I said, but I thought I was going to drive you. He said, no, I got this. And she just waved, and I waved back. And I always have these feelings and these spiritual, I guess, meetings since I was a child. My grandmother, when she passed away in 1973, I remember I was asleep, and I remember hearing scuttling around my room, and I could feel somebody's hand on my face and smiling, and I looked up, and I kind of saw, like, the outline of her face. And then, like, my father came in first, and he said that, his mother had passed. And I was like, wow, that's heavy. Because I was like, how did I know ahead of time? But the same thing sort of happened to me with my father when he passed away when I was 17 in 1981. He was sick. They both had cancer when they passed away. And I spoke to him. I was the last one to see him alive in my family. I'm the youngest of three. And I went home, and I went in my room, and I sat down, and the phone rang. And my mother said, okay. And she walked over to me calmly, and she said, your father passed away. And I started to scream, and I ran to the back door, because the first thing you do, like when you feel these things, is you go to a familiar place where you constantly saw this person. My father was always coming through the door, always coming through the back door. And I sat there waiting to see if he was going to come through that back door. And the back door opened by itself, which was really kind of crazy. Nutty story. I'm sitting where he normally would sit, and the door kind of opens up, and it just stays there. And I could feel him. And I went, okay. And it stopped all the screaming. It calmed my whole being down. And I said, okay, you're here. So you're with me. And my father's been with me ever since in his own way. And many things that I've done in my life and many places I've traveled, I always see him there. And it's always like in a crowded room of people, or spirits, I say. And then I could see him walk through. Because he's always wearing something strange that I've never seen him wear in life. And it's always something bright. Like, wait a minute. You would never wear that. Why are you wearing that now? And he kind of gives this look, and he turns and halfway smiles, and he turns and goes back to doing what he was doing or walking through. So, yeah, spirits are amongst us all the time. And what people fail to realize, a lot of spirits are there to help us, not there just to be...
That's right.
They're not there to
scare
us. But the thing is, what frightens us is that because we don't understand that side of things, that plane, we always get caught up in the ideal of, oh, it's here to frighten me. No, it's not. And on many a spiritual journey that I've been on and looking into this, I find that most people don't understand spirituality or spirits or ghosts, as they want to call it, or paranormal activity. Yes, because they're here too on this plane. And some of them are here also to guide you in different phases of your life. Like I said, when I dream, because I'm now a visually impaired person, people always ask, well, when you dream, do you see things? I said, no, I kind of dream in color. I dream like in real time. And people say, how do you do that? How could you not see, during the day? But when you dream, it's because it's always there. Your subconscious is always there. So your memories and everything else are always amongst you. So I've had different spirits come to me saying, what you're going through right now is temporary because there's so much more for you. It's how you bring the spirits and those guides in, because there's also devil be care spirits around you too, because they're there. There's always a balance, as they would say in the Force. There's always some kind of balance to it. It can't be all one way and all the other way. But the idea is that we as human beings on this planet and on the spiritual plane that we're on make our own choices. And inside those choices, the spirits that have left us and loved us the most always come back to us because they don't want to see any harm come to our spirits or our family as it grows.
Well, it's also, Trey and I, sometimes we talk about something that I've seen or something that he's seen, and, it's your family connections. Like Dre always talks about his grandmother and, you know, the superstitious things she'd say and things she brought from Jamaica, the island of Jamaica, not Jamaica, Queens, New York, but the island.
Well, both. Honestly, both. My father's parents are natives of Jamaica. My grandmother, my grandfather. And funny, they came from Jamaica, the island, only to move to Jamaica, Queens, New York, and then eventually landing in Westbury, in Newcastle, Westbury. As the family settled, they moved out here. And the interesting stories that I used to hear, and I remember I only had 10 years, really 9 years with my grandmother before she passed. But I used to go there to be babysat when I was younger because I was so rambunctious. What do they call that? Ian, what's that thing that you are too? Oh, yeah, pain in the ass. As a little kid, you know, you're always getting into something. So my mother said, because my mother was going to work, she said, look, I don't want to get him into a babysitter because I went to a babysitter. I got in trouble there, so they used to drop me on my grandmother's. And I'd stay there, and my grandmother taught me so much stuff without overtly teaching me, just by being around her and the smells and the conversations. And my grandfather, he was a bit of a introvert yet curmudgeon in his own right, but I understood why, because he was in the backyard. He used to have this farm, like he used to grow stuff in the backyard, and then he had this extra little area that he grew stuff, and he had this shed in the back. And I kept saying to him, I said, don't go back in Grandpa's shed like that. Don't go back in Grandpa's shed. So one time I was in the backyard, and he calls my name, and my grandfather, my father's father, had a very thick accent, so it was very difficult to understand him. But he would say my name, he'd come here, and he'd wave, come here. I walked back into the shed after hearing, remember, you're a little kid, you got a little kid logic working on you. He's like, don't go back there, don't go back there. And I went back there, and he's sitting back there, and he's smoking weed, the whole place is smoked up, and I'm stuck back there.
And you got a contact high.
A ridiculous contact high. And my grandmother's calling for me because she's looking in the back. I said, oh, my God, where did he go? So she's in panic mode. And here I come stumbling out the shed. And the smoke must be talking about something very funny. And I go, I'm here, Grandma. Just get over here. I told you not to go back there, to go to that shed. And then they start arguing back and forth across the backyard. It's hysterical. But I learned some things from that. And I remember sitting many days in that backyard and just watching, seeing things go by. And my grandma started telling me, she says, you know, because she said, you may start to see things that don't seem real, but they are. And there's a lot of spirits around you. I see it because she could see things. And my mother told me about this too as I got older, that there's something about you that attracts spirits. And even when you're doing well or you're doing bad, even when things seem bad, they're around you to protect you. And you have to learn.
Well, I think that's broken. I think there are a lot. I think spirits are everyone, but people aren't open to it. They shut themselves off to it, you know, or they fear it. And that's one of the big things. Like Dre loves horror movies too, just like I do. It's why I do what I do for a living. But I think, you know, seeing horror movies as a kid and getting past that fear of the movie or whatever's going to happen, it's a good lesson for life, because when you see things, you know, that should scare you, if you can overcome your fear and let it experience it, I mean, 90% of spirits are not there to hurt you or to scare you. They're there with a message, or they're there with a question, or they're lost. You know, they're not really there to harm anyone. And that's you know, if you open yourself to it, you'll see things all the time. I mean, and if you don't actually see something, you'll feel it, like you talk about. You just felt that presence.
You feel the presence. But the greatest fear I ever had in my life was my brother, when I used to sleep in the same room with him, because at that time he used to get these plastic models of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Dracula.
What were the name of those models? So they had a name. They glow in the dark. I had them too. Aurora.
He had the Aurora glow in the dark, Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman and the Mummy. And he had them all. And he made them, because my brother, he's incredibly artistically talented. And what he did, he would make them and put them up on the shelf so that they would glow in the dark at night. And I'd look up and go, ah, the Wolfman's coming to get me, Mommy. It's just a toy. He's coming to get me. I mean, for a long time, I used to be afraid of men with capes because Dracula, with that whole thing with Bela Lugosi. And these models were really good, though. They were really, really good. And they glowed in the dark. So
the funny thing was, I tried to rationalize to get my dad to buy me more Aurora models. So I'd say, see, if you buy me the Aurora models, you don't need to spend money on a night light for me, or leave the door open.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a light on the door. Little did I know, as soon as he bought them for me and we put them together and put them up, scared the hell out of me.
Because they glowed. They really glowed well in the dark. Isn't that amazing back then when they said this really glows in the dark? I mean, it really glowed in the dark, and it would scare the living crap out of you. I mean, when you're a kid, those things were 20 feet tall. So the funniest thing about it is I broke that whole fear of the Wolfman, Frankenstein, and the Mummy when I started watching Abbott and Costello meet Dracula and all that everything broke because it was done with comedy and it was funny. So I never looked at them like, oh, wait a minute. It was all just funny. So
my dad was funny. Every Sunday he'd make pancakes for us. And I was scared to watch Dracula and the Creature from the Black Lagoon and all of them, Wolfman. And he was like, every Sunday morning when we were a kid here on WPIX, Channel 11, they'd play Abbott and Costello. And we'd eat breakfast and watch Abbott and Costello movies. And my dad was like, knew that Abbott and Costello and Me Frankenstein was on. And he's like, see, maybe you watch the comedy and you'll get over your fear. So we watched Abbott and Costello, and I thought Dracula was funny. And from then on, I kept laughing. Even on the movie, they played it straight. You're scary.
That was the best part about it. They had all the original people who played those parts, the Bela Lugosi, and the guy who played the Wolfman, and the guy who played Frankenstein, all in the same movie with Abbott and Costello. So when you got to see the original Frankenstein or Count or Dracula, all that stuff, you were like, what? Wait a minute, Abbott and Costello made it funny. So you break the fear of that. But I gotta thank my brother for putting the fear of Aurora models in my heart to this day. I refuse to go down the aisle of a door. Nope, Aurora models. Nope, don't want to see it.
You know how much the Aurora models are worth now? When I went to Comic-Con, they had an unopened wrap.
Hey, Ian.
Shrink wrap.
Ian, I gotta cut you off right there. We're gonna go to break here at the bottom of the hour. The birthday show. Ian Holt, myself, May 24th. We're celebrating paranormal stories. We want you to call in as well. We'll give you the number right after the break on Spaced Out Radio. Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Looking for the stories of the strange and weird that you will find hard to find anywhere else? Check out the SOR Newswire on our website. Our writers, led by Captain Shirk, are scouring the world for the oddest and most bizarre stories we can find. Everything from weird crime to suspenseful and paranormal. We're working hard for you to bring you the most intriguing news of your day. Check out the SOR Newswire at spacedoutradio.com today.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch? Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rockin'. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Are you tired of being blocked, shadow banned, or placed in jail for simply posting your thoughts on social media? Social Media Freedom can take care of that for you. Social Media Freedom is the newest and one of the best free new apps that allows you the freedom to post what you want, when you want. It takes seconds to download from your app store. Come join the tribe at Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio, you can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Did you know Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi there, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I'm here to take you on a paranormal journey each Saturday and Sunday night. Why change the station when you have it all right here? Together, we'll hang out and share some strange and scary stories. And don't forget, we have Psychic Sundays as well, so come tune in Spaced Out Weekend. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com, where we own the night.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
We're bringing scientific thought to the paranormal. Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio scientist Chris Cogswell. Join me, Chris Zuger, and Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month, where we break down the who from the woo when it comes to everything paranormal. We'll investigate and try to bring sensible answers to those straight and sometimes outlandish questions people have. Hey, not everything has an answer, but we'll do our best. Listen in to Reality Paranormal only on Spaced Out Radio.
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Coming up this September 21st and 22nd, all UFO eyes will be focused on Toronto for the 4th Annual Alien Cosmic Expo. Come listen to some of the biggest names and experiencers in ufology. Travis Walton, Paul Hellyer, Richard Dolan, Paula Harris, Grant Cameron, Randy Kramer, and Spaced Out Radio's own Dave Scott. Tickets are on sale now at aliencosmicexpo.com.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining along. If you've missed part of this show or others, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. All of our archives are there for free for you to listen to. And our website, spacedoutradio.com, currently being reconstructed. Don't worry, the Gavinator says it'll be another couple of days at max. Tonight, it's the birthday show. May 24th is the day that myself and Ian Holt celebrate our lives and the strange and weird. We're also have a pleasure of having Dr. Dre from the East Coast on this show as well. Yes, you may remember him from MTV Raps, the Beastie Boys, and so much more. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Not a problem. We also... Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said you also. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to remind the audience that if they want to call in, 1-702-302-4556. I don't take a lot of calls during this show ever, so it's very rare that we actually are going to open up the phone lines. I don't know if the audience will be like, geez, well, he never does that. Do we actually call? Does he mean it? Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Well, let's open up the phone lines to everybody. People here on this plane and people who aren't on this plane. Because you never know who might dial through. Those are the ghosts in the machine. I'm really interested to hear about the ghosts in the machine. But we were talking off air for a minute. Excuse me for taking over the show a little bit. About how we were conceived as children and our parents. Do you know, you asked me about paranormal experiences. I remember I was at one of these, at an MTV spring break that we were hosting, my partner Ed Lover and I, out in Arizona, Lake Havasu, I remember. And I was, a young bachelor man, free and clear, and I had a beautiful young lady that I was dating from the great city of Detroit at the time. And we were out in what I call abominable sun all day, sweating our, excuse the expression, pants off. Seriously, you were just a ball of water. And we were doing our segments and our shows and hosting these different fun stuff that we were doing and doing parts of Young TV Raps at the time. And we went back to the hotel.
You want a water gun then?
Excuse me?
Want a water gun then?
No, that was down in Daytona. No, they moved to Lake Havasu because we were in Daytona for years, a couple of years in a row, because of our thing called climate change. You know, the thing that some people don't believe exists? It kept raining.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were like, no, we got to stop. It's not working. We got to move it someplace else. So go to Lake Havasu in Arizona. I'll never forget. It was like, Lake what? Lake Havasu. Yeah. So we went out there, and there's no rain out there, but there's nothing but sun, and there's a man-made lake. So we were out there sweating to beyond sweating. So I invited this young lady from Detroit. And I said, yeah, come on, hang out. This be cool. Try to be Mr. Impressive, Mr. Dr. Dre Impressive. And I pretty was much impressive. Now, here's the fun part of the paranormal part of the story. So we go back to the hotel. By this time, I say, Dre, you got the rest of the evening. We're going to go to dinner later. We'll give you a call. Now, on my mind, I'm getting ready to go have a great lunch. Because, number one, I'm going to go into this nice hotel room with this beautiful, gorgeous woman. And I'm going to proceed to do my best to see if I can have a very paranormal experience with her. So we go in there, and it's like we're getting hot and heavy, and everything's there. And the room, we had the air conditioning going on, and all of a sudden the air conditioner shut off. And we're like, what happened? Because you could feel it because the room started getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And I start feeling this cold, like not hands, but these, I want to say spirits on me.
Right.
While in the middle of this act. And I'm like, whoa, this is something special. And she's screaming out. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So we finally finished, 3.5 hours later. I'll brag. 3.5 hours later. And I go down to the front desk because I was waiting to get a call because you have to go down to the restroom. This is the old days, folks. No cell phones running around back and forth like that. So we went down to the desk, and I said, my air conditioner's off in my room. Could you send somebody up to, check it? And they said, your air conditioner's off. Nobody's there. These air conditioners, no, it's central air conditioning. I said, well, mine is out. Come to my room. And I went back to the room, and she was there. She was in the shower. And I was telling her somebody's coming up to check the air conditioning. And she said, okay. And when she came out, she put on clothes and was waiting for the guy. And the guy comes into the room, which was the craziest thing. And he walks over to the thermostat. And he goes, there's nothing wrong with your air conditioning. I said, can't you feel just the heat in this room? He says, there's no heat in this room. I said, look, man, I'm telling you, we're sitting here sweating. He said, no, you're okay. And he walks out. So I'm looking at her, and she looks at me. And there's a rap at the door again, and there's another guy standing there. And he goes, you say there's a problem with the air conditioning? I said, yeah, a guy just left here. He said, what guy? I said, there was a guy in here, looked at the thermostat, and told us there's nothing wrong with the air conditioning. And he walked out and said, no, nothing's wrong. And he walked out. He said, there was nobody. He said, I'm the only repair person here. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I said, oh, my God. Yo, this place got to be haunted. What the hell was that?
No kidding. No kidding.
I'm dead serious. It's like.
That is freaky. That is freaky, boys. Hey, we got a caller. We got a caller. Can we jump in on with a caller here?
Please, let's talk to somebody.
All right, this is area code 614. I think it's Aussie Rob. Are you there?
That's right. Happy birthday, Dave.
Thank you.
And Ian,
thank you.
Happy birthday to both of you.
Thank you, Rob.
To me, like that person that came in to check, he was definitely a ghost, and he was probably the one that was putting the heat on you.
Yeah, it was crazy. He was there. I guess he was enjoying what was going on. And when I complained about it, he came back and said, there's nothing wrong. Everything's fine.
Indeed.
Aussie Rob's quite intuitive.
Oh, Aussie Rob is amazing. What was it? Was it 2 years ago when he got on the show with us? He was great. Yes.
I guess that's how it goes down.
Well, give us a reading there, Aussie Rob. Come on. We need some sugar.
Well, you already got the leg chops from earlier.
Oh, yes. Aussie Rob, it's wintertime in Australia right now, and he's walking around in shorts because it's a balm. Yeah, exactly.
I was in Australia once. I didn't spend a lot of time there, but I was there for a couple of days.
Oh, that's good.
I'd love to come back and spend some real time and maybe do a walkabout.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Only if I can bring Jenny a gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Australia's greatest export, Jenny a gutter.
Hey, Aussie Rob.
The best export was boxes and Vegemite.
Yeah, right. The Vegemite sandwich.
Sorry. Not that word. Sorry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Aussie Rob, you got
it.
Oh, not much, man.
Just trying to. Yeah. All right, Dave, you're gonna get some visitors in tomorrow.
Oh, am I? What kind of visitors?
I think it's just going to be Bazooka Joe bringing over a six-pack.
Well, Bazooka Joe, Mikey, and myself are going out into the mountains tomorrow to try and find Sasquatch.
Oh no, you're going to be having fun with the Sasquatch?
We're going to try and mess with Sasquatch. We're going to try and mess with him.
I love the Sasquatch because he's a Sasquatch. That's why you got to love him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we got a couple areas up here that we've been tipped off to, so we're going to try those out.
All right, excellent.
You got to have fun with the Sasquatch.
Keep looking up at the tree trunks. And
all right.
You'll find the marking.
My question is, do we head northeast or southeast?
Oh. Definitely go southeast.
All right. That's where we were thinking of. All right, Aussie Rob, I gotta let you go here because we got another call coming in. But thank you so much for calling in, buddy. Much love from you, bud.
And hi to everyone in the chat room.
Thank you, Aussie Rob.
Aussie Rob. He's always a good guy. Let's get to another call here. Let's get to area code 406. Who's calling in now? Hello, area code 406.
This is PBR.
Hey, PBR, what's happening, man?
I just wanted to call and say happy birthday, dude.
Appreciate that. That is awesome.
That's it. That's about it. I don't want to go into the paranormal or UFO, but I just want to say happy birthday.
Thank you. And I'm sure that's for Ian too there, right?
I guess so.
Perfect. What? It's Friday night, PBR. It's Friday night. What's your beverage of choice tonight?
Black Velvet is from Canada.
Very
aged
nice.
in a barrel, 7 years, man.
There you go. That man knows how to party.
Absolutely. That's why he's... Now, PBR is one of our newer listeners in the chat room. He's been around for a couple of months, man. And I want to just say a big thank you for finding our show and becoming a fan, because it's people like all of you in the chat rooms that really keeps me entertained throughout the night. And I want to say thank you for allowing us to earn your listening ears on a nightly basis, bro.
Well, man, right back at you. I wish I had found you earlier. Thanks to Richie from Phoenix that I found you, and now I'm going back in YouTube and listening to your older shows, and I love them all, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. We need little Richie G to call in. Goof on Radio. We need him to call in. That's for sure.
I
all right,
love
PBR.
that, man. I love him.
Me too. I'm gonna send you back to the chat room here, my friend. But thank you so much. Eh?
All right.
I have another one on us.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, you can't do a show like this without awesome listeners, man. Like, I mean, think about it. Aussie Rob's in Australia. We got listeners all over the United States and Europe and Canada. You know, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
That's the thing, Dave. You know, Dre and I had great listeners on when we did the morning show in New York.
Yeah.
But you can't get, you know, because there's so many millions of people, you just can't get that personal relationship, because every time I'm on, you know every listener, from the chat rooms and everything, all the listeners. It's such a different experience. Right, Trey?
Well, from my experience, having done radio for like over 35, almost 40 years, starting with the legendary station at Adelphi University with my friend Chuck D from Public Enemy and company, and, going from there to WBLS in New York, and also starting the morning show at Hot 97 in New York with my Young TV Raps partner, Ed Lover, and taking that show to a point where we actually defeated Howard Stern in the ratings at one point, and then going and opening a new station in New York called Power 105.1, and then Ian knows I did a late night show there also on a Saturday, Sunday morning called Dr. Dre's After Hour Spot, and made that a #1 show on the network at the time. But all of this stuff was before there was social media, before there were chat rooms like this, before there was the internet like this. And the interesting thing about it is that...
Hello. One second, caller. We're going to get Dr. Dre to finish his story.
No. So the interesting thing about it is that cultivating an audience was so pure because we actually went out into the street. We used the technology of the day. We spent time in bringing, our greatest interviews to me were the hot dog guy, the woman walking down the street with a bag of groceries. Celebrity interviews was great and fun. We all enjoyed those. We had the cast of The Wire on our show. It was great, phenomenal. People from Reverend Jesse Jackson to, I can't think of the man, Johnny Cochran was on our show. All these different folks that came through the thing. But the thing is the people and the genuine listener who's there day after day and in and out and actually puts time into being with you, and they get to know you. And it should be the best part of the show for me. It's like when we go off the air and we go out and walk in the streets in New York, you walk on the streets anywhere. It was like that was the pure part of the show. And we had the same kind of rapport doing Yo MTV Raps because it was such an international hit. We were known around the globe, and you just can't be thankful enough to those who actually listen to what you're doing in your craft and what you're honestly putting your blood, sweat, and tears in. I love it.
But we can't do it with them. We can't do it. With our listeners, we're just talking to ourselves.
Exactly.
Ian and I did a show. We did a show on Air America, filling in for my friend Chuck D. And we had so much fun. And they said, when you guys come up here, it's like this is more activity that happens up here regularly. Normally it's political guests. People like Rachel Maddow were there. And I forgot the name of the governor who was the former governor of Vermont. He was there. We're all hosting these different type of shows.
But the best show was Smith came on. That was the best show.
Yes.
Him and I didn't agree on anything. We went at it all night.
All night long.
Obama. And Rachel Maddow comes running down the hall. All the phone lines are lighting up. You guys are killing it. And argued all night. Everyone thought we were going to kill each other. The minute the show's over, Stephen A. outstretches his hand and goes, "That was fun, man."
Yeah, that was good. But that's what we do.
Yeah, it was.
That's what we do.
It was total, like we were arguing our points, our political points, and we were going at it and yelling at each other and all this. When it was over, it was like, "Hey, man, that was a great show." I was like, "Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun." The
greatest part about it was we were arguing political, sports, entertainment, everything. And again, this is all prior to everybody having a smartphone on their hip and flip it up and get information. So you were bringing what you knew with you. So your preparation and what you were trying to accomplish for a show was so vital and so important. And people always marvel, and Ian tells me all the time, he goes, how does Dre know how to do all this stuff? And he goes, he's been doing it for years. He's a student of the game. He's a fan of the game, but he's also very knowledgeable of how to make it work and how to grab and bring audiences in. And that was always something I loved to do. Because when you go out there and you meet all these great people, you feel all their energies. And I've always thought there was ghosts in the room with me doing a lot of stuff that I've been involved with, especially when you go to radio stations. A lot of people and spirits are there. You can tell when you got a good show going, it's just you feel energy in a room like there's like nothing else. Because we had a 2-hour show, and if you know how the show goes when you're doing the show. If you blink your eyes and you close and it's over, the show was amazing. You're like, I don't even remember what happened. It just was so good, and we didn't want to stop. And you didn't want to take a break. Oh, we got a break for commercials. It goes back. All right, hold on just a second. We'll come back.
Hey, Ian, hold on 1 second here, brother. We're gonna go to another caller. Area code 563 in Iowa. How you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing well. This is Aaron Hunter. How you doing?
Hey, Aaron, what's going on?
I just want to wish you a happy birthday, man. I had to call in like everyone else. I'm currently traveling, and it's raining over here in the States. It's going to flood again, and I'll survive.
You guys be careful out there in Iowa.
I'm sorry, say again?
You guys be careful and travel safe.
I will. No problem. I was going to be fine. I live in Illinois, and we're okay. There's not too much going on over here. So just a lot of rain, a lot of flooding.
Watch out for those baseball fields that pop up in cornfields, eh?
Yeah, watch out for the children of the corn.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Mr. Scott, just want to say, hey, love the show. You know, I pop in every once in a while, and wish you a happy birthday, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate you calling in. You take care.
All right.
Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor, Aaron, before you go. Give a little shout out to your Haunted Stories podcast that you do.
You mean on your show right now?
No, don't you do a podcast?
Yeah, I do. Do a shout. Yeah. You said do a shout out.
Yeah.
Oh, for you?
Let everybody know about your haunted podcast so people can tune into it. That's what you're trying to say.
Oh, you want me to plug my show?
Yeah. Yes, plug your show, because I'm scared of it already. I don't even know if I want to listen to it now. I'm scared.
You know, I'm on a cell phone. It's cutting in and out, and okay, that's nice of you. I will. If anyone's interested in real paranormal stories from around the world, I got a podcast called Real Paranormal Activity. The podcast, you can go to realparanormalactivity.com and listen for free. And it's a miniature network. We have multiple shows, stories of the weird and strange. We also have video shows on the first Friday of every month. And it's going quite well because a lot of people experience paranormal things around the world, India, Australia. We get these stories all over the place, and I read it on the podcast. And that's it. That's the show, and it's doing well, and it's just an outlet for people to talk about what they experience, and that's it. So realparanormalactivity.com. And thank you very much for letting me plug that, Dave. I wasn't expecting that, but, that's very nice.
No worries. No worries, AA Ron. That's what you get for raiding my fridge every night when you're in the chat room.
Hey, love being in your chat, and I'll let you get back to your show, man. Thanks.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you calling in, and thank you for the wishes.
Thank you.
All right.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Take care. Now, the funny part about Aaron, or AA Ron, is that every time he comes into our chat room, he says he goes and raids my fridge trying to make himself a sandwich. If he literally knew how little food I have in my fridge at this time, it definitely wouldn't know. But gentlemen, I'm going to get you guys. Hey guys, we're going to hold on. We're going to go to break here at the top of the hour. We're going to continue on with Dr. Dre, Ian Holt, the birthday special, and your phone calls coming up in hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio right after this.
Hang out with Spaced Out Radio, where we own the night. This is Carl. You can follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, and during the show, use the hashtag Spaced Out Radio to chat with us live. On Instagram, at Dave Scott SOR. On Facebook, give our page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. SOR archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. Come join us, or I will come join you. See you at your window.
On the first Tuesday of every month, I encourage you to come along for a journey with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You. Together, we will take a look at how to access the highest expression of yourself and change your life. Consciousness, ET contact, health, and wellness, we can talk about it all. So come along for a spiritual ride with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother is watching.
Canada's largest UFO conference is ready to roll in Toronto this September 21st and 22nd at the Alien Cosmic Expo. This year is about the experience. Listen to the stories of Dave Scott, Travis Walton, Paula Harris, Grant Cameron, Ryan Stacey, Richard Dolan, Leslie Mitchell-Clark, and more. Get your tickets now at aliencosmicexpo.com. Find your escape where time has no limits. It's about living today and cherishing the heritage of yesterday. A spirit of adventure for what is new with the nostalgia of the past. Your timepiece is a reflection of who you are. Life surrounded by beauty from the world around us to the soul within. EscapeWatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
The Call of the Wild is in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is one of the hottest bars and restaurants in the city. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose will rock you like a hurricane all night long. Great food with everything on the menu at $6.95 near the corner of Nelson and Granville. Get your horns up and come rock with us. The Moose Vancouver, the official rocking bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
The freedom to post what you want, when you want. That's the social media freedom you need. Social Media Freedom is the free app in your app store. No need to worry about going to jail or being shadow banned any longer. It's the freedom to say what you feel. The freedom to know Big Brother isn't watching. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. Download from your app store today.
At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
We are getting ready to relaunch the SOR Space Travelers Club at spacedoutradio.com. For $5 a month, you can join us for a plethora of features found nowhere else. Hang out in a private chat room during the show and after party. You can check out some exclusive content and a store specifically for you, as well as a private listener forum where you can post your thoughts, stories, and pictures. The SOR Space Travelers Club, coming soon to spacedoutradio.com.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
We're bringing scientific thought to the paranormal. Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio scientist Chris Cogswell. Join me, Chris Zuger, and Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month, where we break down the who from the woo when it comes to everything paranormal. We'll investigate and try to bring sensible answers to those straight and sometimes outlandish questions people have. Hey, not everything is an answer, but we'll do our best. Listen in to Reality Paranormal only on Spaced Out Radio.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow night and Sunday, Nicole Thomas is back with Spaced Out Weekend, 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern at spacedoutradio.com. Hi to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates, WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia, KDNF AM 1560 in Dangerfield, Texas, KDUN AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon, in Ridgecrest, California, KZFX 93.7 FM, and UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans. On the digital side, hi to everyone listening in on Revolution Radio and Deep Talk Radio. Remember, all of our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Meow. Meow is your password. Taking it easy on me tonight. Thanks, Clam. But the Clam sets a password each and every night right here on the mighty SOR. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, currently under construction, but don't worry, the Gavinator says he's almost done, and we're going to launch it very, very soon. It's the birthday show with Ian Holt. As we celebrate May 24th, my birthday, Ian's birthday, it's literally the third year in a row that we've been doing this. We are joined by special guest Dr. Dre out of New York. And we're taking your calls as well. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show.
Go Spaced Out. It's your birthday. Go Spaced Out. It's your birthday. Because Ian and Dave, they got their birthdays. Go Spaced Out. It's your birthday. I'm just trying to come up with nice jingles for your listeners to jump on.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We're gonna go to area code. Oh, he hung up. Why'd you hang up? Area code 306. My goodness. Trying to take calls here, man. Trying to take calls. Joe in California is... Yeah.
Go ahead.
Joe in California is like under a tornado warning right now. That's kind of weird for California.
So. No, we just had a tornado here in New York. It was a EMF wind. The winds were enough to call it a tornado. There was a tornado in Brooklyn, New York. You want to talk about weird? Weird? Yeah. This is a weird. No, it's not weird anymore. We're dealing in when you want to talk about paranormal and climate change and spirits and stuff like that, there may be what's going on, what's called a global cleansing that's about to happen. That we're dealing with, people are trying to ignore it, but it's factual. If you really look at what goes on around us and how we're not really paying attention to the spiritual environment, which is so important, and even paranormal activity. People are going, well, I've seen this and this is going on, and sometimes these spirits are coming back to warn us of stuff that we're doing to ourselves, and we're not paying attention to all the warning signs. I was talking to Ian about this earlier today. I can remember growing up in the early 70s, and you hear maybe one tornado in the middle of the country a year or two at the tops. I mean, the greatest tornado of them all was the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy. Of course, we know that. But we're talking about we're going in double digits. I mean, per week. Not even like last year had like 10.
You got major cities getting hit. Jefferson, Missouri was hit. I mean, it looked like Godzilla tramped through there.
So when you say California is being hit with these high winds, I mean, if we look at what we're doing to the globe, believe me, the spirits will be arriving, because they're going to be like, you guys didn't want it, so we're going to take it back. You guys aren't listening, so we're going to show you what's going to happen. So I believe everything goes in cycles of life and cycles of who we are and where we are. But the beauty of it is, I always believe in the higher spirit that guides us all and gives us the beauty of this existence and the love of being on this show here. I say we have time.
Oh,
Hey, Ian. Let's get to another phone call here. Area code 306 is with us. I believe that's Saskatchewan. Ron, is this you?
Saskatchewan.
It is your favorite guy from Saskatchewan, David.
Ron, you are in thank you. You are in the flatlands of North America right now. You need to stand up and wave to everybody so we can see you.
Okay, I'll get out of my balcony and do that. You can see me better. Very happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You know, I've been a fan of your show, obviously, and you're a fan of me for a few years now.
Yes.
And I want to just say a happy to Susan, Nikki, Nick O, where you are down there, Tessa, of course, Double A, PBR, Lisa, Julian, Michelle, Stevie, Joe, Robert, Will, BB, Nathan, Bap, and SDD.
Right on.
Thanks for hanging out and tolerating myself. And, I hope, your show is going to go on for a long more time, Dave.
Me too, buddy. And I appreciate you always being there for us. And I look forward to the Rono-ers every night in the chat room, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Go Riders, I guess.
My BC Lions.
And the Raptors.
We're going to talk a little CFL, Canadian Football League here. I know you Americans will just roll your eyes at us. But my Lions are going to kick the... Exactly. My Lions are going to kick the butt of Saskatchewan this year. You take your watermelons, you stick them on your head, just like a bunch of weirdos that you are. But we're gonna win this year.
It depends if our American college drafts are better than your American college drafts. Exactly. No, but I know that our Canadian boys would kick their asses. That's for sure.
That is true. That is very true. Rono, we're going to let you go because we got Mr.
Cheers,
Goof
man.
on radio.
Again.
Rich Giordano is joining us here. Little Richie G, let me tell you something, brother. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Happy birthday, brother Dave. I've been listening to the whole show. I got 2 24-inch pythons ready to give you a big muscle hug, brother. Happy freaking birthday from the top rope, brother. I'm looking down on you, and now we're eye level. What?
I don't know what to say. Hey, man, happy birthday.
Thank you. Why don't you say hello to Ian and Dr. Dre as well, buddy?
Oh, my God. I didn't know they were on. Ian, Dr. Dre, how you doing?
Hey, I pity the fool that doesn't know how to say my name. I pity the fool.
Let me tell you something, Dre. I've been watching you, brother. I've been listening to you, brother, and I think you've got some talent. You can go some places, brother, if you really try hard and apply yourself. You hear me? Just eat your vitamins and say your prayers, brother Dre.
Yes, I will, but I'll tell you what. I pity the fool. I pity the fool that doesn't know my name. I pity the fool.
Oh, that's just brilliant. Yeah, you have to realize. I'll call up on Rich's show and I'll start doing the Iron Sheik. Remember the Iron Sheik?
Time to warm up my boot. To warm up my boot.
I can't even do it tonight. My voice is all screwed up from this cold. But yeah, Rich does the Hulk. Oh yeah. Okay. I realize this is a paranormal
I want to ask
show.
Rich if Rich can do the Hulk. Can he do Thunder Lips? Thunder Lips, baby.
Thunder Lips from Rocky. Because of the ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball. Hey, yo, how about, we get like a Polaroid when you say it.
Yeah, it's good. A Polaroid when it does, sometimes it hurts.
You got that right, brother.
Hey, why'd you go
Charity hurt. I like when Thunderlips was walking out, and it goes, 303 pounds, and they're announcing him, and Paulie, Paulie, he goes, why they carrying him? And they go, he's walking.
And he said, I wonder, the best line is when Rocky says to Mickey, I wonder what he eats. He was about 202 pounds. 202 pounds? Rocky?
Isn't that funny? We remember all that like it was yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That means that's why it's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's why he did it. He's amazing. It becomes that impressionable to you.
I got to ask a question to Ian, though. Ian, you growing up in New York, in the Italian area, how many times did you walk out of a Rocky movie yelling, all right, Rocco! All right, Rocco!
I'll do better than that for you guys. I used to host the Special Olympics in my fraternity. And I'm walking towards we have rides and games. We're raising money for the Special Olympics. I walk by a building, and who's standing there but Burt Young? Paulie himself. And I go, hey, yo, Paulie, how about you come on down to the festival here for like a little charity? That's a little charity like Bob Holt. I'm like, come on. He's like, get away from me. And I'm like, he's like, I can't. I'm late for an appointment, and this limo pulls up. I'm like, oh, Paulie, it's for charity. He's like, will you shut up? And I'm like, and then the crowd starts gathering around. The news cameras see us and come running over to him, and they see me do it. Hey, yo, Paulie, come on. So he walks me down to the dunking booth. He goes, I'm going to do this for charity. He pulls out a $100 bill and puts it down for 3 balls to throw at the thing. He goes, I'm going to do this, but I want that loudmouth on the seat. He dunked me 3 times in the middle of a rainstorm. I had the flu for a month, and he didn't laugh once until he dunked me the first time. And he's like, now, big mouth, how do you like that now? Get back in the chair. I said, would you do this to Rocky?
Hey, we're going to take another.
He said, I ain't no charity case.
We're going to take another call here, guys. This one from British Columbia, area code 778. Who do we got on the line tonight?
Hi, Dave. It's Bill Hauser calling. How you doing?
Hey, Bill Hauser. How you doing, buddy?
Very good. I'm going to wish you and Ian a happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Glad you could join us.
Yeah, I just actually got in. I was out for dinner tonight, but I didn't forget, so I wanted to make sure I called in.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Bill, Dr. Dre, Bill comes in every couple months, and he does a live ghost box session with us. So we try and talk to spirits live through a ghost box that Bill has on. It's pretty fun.
Oh, see, that's the show I want to be on. I want to be on the Ghost Box show because maybe I can get some of those ghosts in the box to talk to me. I said, okay, so what is the secret number for the Powerball? Ghost Fox, please.
So Bill always sends me a link to his show when I can't listen live, and I'm always amazed. Thank you, Bill.
Oh, you're very
Thank
welcome.
you, Bill. I look forward to listening. Ian will hook me up for sure. Put me on the box.
Yeah, I'll get you the podcast on YouTube.
Get me on the box.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely. We can bring you on, Dr. Dre, when Bill is on in July or September. One
There
of
you
the
go.
two.
That'll be a good time. I'll be sunning. I'll be sunning in the back.
All right, Bill. We're gonna let you go here because we got another caller coming in. So thank you so much, man.
Okay, you guys have a great night. Yep, and happy birthday.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got another caller coming in right now, and it ain't Little Richie G. I believe it's Eric. I believe it's Eric Cooper from Forest Moon Paranormal. Coop, who's speaking? You or your beard? Is it you or your beard?
It is definitely the beard, because the Coop, he's just gone. He's out. He's tired. It's definitely the beard.
Nice.
So I just, Forest Moon Paranormal just wanted to call and say happy birthday to you and Ian. Most definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beard.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. Yeah, happy birthday, too. I forgot, man. I'm so sorry. How rude.
Oh, my God. Right?
I'm so unprofessional.
Ain't it?
Let me tell you something, brother.
They gave me the stinking X-Lax watch. Remember that?
Listen up, brother.
Rocky 3. You gave me the stinking X-Lax watch. It don't even keep good
Leave
time.
it down there. It never held time anyway. It never kept time anyway.
Right. And he kicks it.
So
they want to do.
So you're going to get a birthday present from Bigfoot tomorrow, huh?
I'm hoping. We're heading on out to the mountains. We got tipped off to an area. I got to tell you guys this. One of the areas where we're going here.
For the fight. What's your prediction for the fight, Trey?
Which fight?
Pain. You forgot that line? It's the best line in the movie. What's your prediction for the fight?
You jump back into Rocky 3. Yo, prediction? Yeah, prediction. Pain.
Nice. That was good.
So we're going to a Sasquatch area tomorrow here in British Columbia, where last year at this time, there was a logging crew that was scared out of their logging area because their equipment was being vandalized by Sasquatch. And when you come up here, these logging crews, they go into areas where literally there is one road in, one road out. Like, I'm in the middle of the wilderness here. And for somebody to go around and kind of mess with areas like our area here, or mess with logging crews, everybody is a logger around here, or somehow tied to the wood services. And this crew was freaked out for about a week, and that's where we're going.
Well, are you bringing that beef jerky that they need to actually attack the Sasquatch?
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Jack Links.
Say what?
No, we're not bringing the Jack Links.
Into a Slim Jim. No. Oh, you're not taking a Slim Jim either?
Step into a Slim Jim.
Step into
a Slim Jim. Absolutely.
Well, whatever it is, I think that attracts the Sasquatch.
It could very well.
I could see Sasquatch gnawing on one of those.
I could too. The problem that we're going in to the area is there's a high concentration of grizzly bears in that area as well. Now, I've never come across a grizzly bear before, but I can tell you this. They're angry. They're just angry. They're like house cats. They're just angry for no reason. So we got to be careful.
Don't bring you better bring your little picnic basket.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo, give me some of that picnic basket. Yeah.
It's boo-boo Rocky.
Hey, boo-boo.
All right, Coop. Thank you so much for calling in, brother.
Anytime. Happy birthday again, and we'll talk to you later.
Hey, Coop, before you
Thank
leave,
you.
make sure you plug your Force Moon Paracon.
Oh, Paracon, September 28th, Cedar Woolley, Washington. I'm just going to make it quick. More details, go to www.fmparacon.com. You're going to see Dave Scott. You're going to see R. Keith Andrews. And, well, there's some changes coming up, too. So there's some other people you might be seeing in places, some folks. But anyway, yeah, just stay tuned. We'll talk about that later, too, Dave.
All right, bro.
Anyway, happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. And I look forward to getting back down there and speaking at your conference.
Most definitely.
All right, brother.
All right.
We got about 2.5 minutes here before we got to go to break. Dre, got to ask you.
Yes.
You ever see a UFO or Sasquatch?
I haven't seen Sasquatch, but I have seen a UFO, or what they say I don't want to call it. Yeah, I've seen something that was up in the sky that wasn't a weather balloon for sure, because weather balloons don't move like that. Absolutely, yes, I have. And it was on a clear night, and it's always, you know how you always get the UFO stories when you're in the middle of the country and it's a clear night and there's no one around? No, this was in the middle of good old Long Island on a clear night and sitting out, looking up at the sky, and you see something move across, and it wasn't a jet, because it moved and it stopped, and then it moved back to where it was, then it stopped, then it circled, and then it stopped, and then it went up, and it went down. Not down to eye level where we were on the ground, but it went like it was looking, and then you saw the light move around it, and then it just shot off.
When was this?
That was no weather balloon.
When was that?
Oh, that had to be in 1979.
Okay.
I saw something. We saw that right out here. Yeah, it was. And the thing is, it was like what happened recently, where they say, "Oh, there was something that just lit the sky up over in Queens, and it was a
transformer,
a power transformer that blew." Maybe. But when it happened so fast that, and again, no cell phone, can't put your camera up and record it in the sky real fast, and you're transfixed with looking at it, and you're going, "Is that no?" And then you hear stories, because my uncle, who used to work at Grumman Aerospace out here in Long Island, and they would say, "Oh no, that could have been something they were throwing up there like that." I said, "Yeah, but it didn't move like that. I've seen stuff that you do, but this thing moved. It's like it had its own center, and it knew exactly what it was doing, moving back and forth, very concentrated. Then it stopped and it went up. The thing that you knew was something different because it went up, and then it came down. And when it came down, it got a little brighter, not bright where it blinded you on the ground, because it didn't come to that level. It came down, but it lit up, and then it looked and it moved around in a big circle 2 or 3 times, and then it just went off to the right, and it went so fast, it just went, and then you saw it stop, go into darkness.
Wow.
And you're like, what the hell was that? And I never forget, I asked my uncle about that. He said, I don't know if they were running any kind of tests or anything like that. I said, yeah, but it didn't have a shape like a saucer.
Dr. Dre, I'm going to get you to hold on right there. We're going to step out for break. We're going to finish your UFO story right after this. The birthday show on Space Out Radio continues. Stay tuned.
Coming up this September 21st and 22nd, all UFO eyes will be focused on Toronto for the 4th Annual Alien Cosmic Expo. Come listen to some of the biggest names and experiencers in ufology. Travis Walton, Paul Hellyer, Richard Dolan, Paula Harris, Grant Cameron, Randy Kramer, and Spaced Out Radio's own Dave Scott. Tickets are on sale now at aliencosmicexpo.com.
Did you know Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi there, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I'm here to take you on a paranormal journey each Saturday and Sunday night. Why change the station when you have it all right here? Together, we'll hang out and share some strange and scary stories. And don't forget, we have Psychic Sundays as well, so come tune in Spaced Out Weekend. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com, where we own the night.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch. Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio. You can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Are you tired of being blocked, shadow banned, or placed in jail for simply posting your thoughts on social media? Social media freedom can take care of that for you. Social media freedom is the newest and one of the best free new apps that allows you the freedom to post what you want when you want. It takes seconds to download from your app store. Come join the tribe at Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Looking for the stories of the strange and weird that you will find hard to find anywhere else? Check out the SOR Newswire on our website. Our writers, led by Captain Shirk, are scouring the world for the oddest and most bizarre stories we can find. Everything from weird crime to suspenseful and paranormal. We're working hard for you to bring you the most intriguing news of your day. Check out the SOR Newswire at spacedoutradio.com today. Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
We pass the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters in the birthday show. Remember, if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can always go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Gavinator's working hard on our website right now. He tells me today it's just a couple more days. So we all got to be patient. He's almost done for the new look Spaced Out Radio website. So stay tuned with that. We got Ian Holt, fellow birthday boy, Dr. Dre, and from Goof on Radio, Rich Giordano joining us here. Now, I know there's someone listening out there. His name's Chuck. Chuck, I know you're listening. I know you got a badass mustache going on right now. But you got to call in, Chuck. Chuck is the owner of KZFX 93.7 and KDUN AM oh goodness, AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon. Now, Chuck, you got to call in. You got to hear this beautiful voice. You want to talk about a voice for radio. Chuck has a voice for radio. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you this. The hardest thing for me about being on KZFX is this. In Canada, we say Z, not Z. So I know one of these days I am actually going to blow it. KZFX 93.7. Yes.
Z.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it derived from?
Wait,
that's proper English, man.
Z is dead. Pulp Fiction.
That's what I was about to say. Zed's dead. Where'd you get the chopper from? Dead. Zed's dead. Let's go.
So we're trying to get Chuck to call in. You got to hear his voice. He's got the voice for radio. Those.
I know how to get Chuck on there. Chuck, I'm telling you right now, if you don't call in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to let everybody know about you. I'm going to let you know that I'm so fast, I could turn the light out and be in bed before the room gets dark, Chuck. Don't let me start talking about you, Chuck, because I'm going to beat you inside of 3 rounds, Chuck. Come on, Chuck. Come on and get on the phone, Chuck. It's not that hard. Just pick up the hand. Pick up that gorilla hand you got and just push the numbers, Chuck. One at a time. You know how they are. Just dial the number and you get on the line, Chuck. We want to hear from you, Chuck. You think that might work?
Rumble, young man, rumble.
Very well, mate. We do have open phone lines at 702-302-4556. Now, I do have to ask, Ian, Dre, I don't know if you've ever heard Rich's Ouija board story, but you're going to have to listen to it sometime. I know, he's rolling his eyes. But have you guys...
Anybody that quote Rocky movies can do a Ouija board story movie. Come on.
Give us a Ouija board story.
I actually had Rich on a couple weeks ago doing this for an entire interview because of this Ouija board story. You guys got any Ouija board stories? I know you do, Ian. You loved the Devil's Plate.
It was my first friend when I moved out from Brooklyn to Long Island. You know, we didn't have Atari, we didn't have any video games like that. So it was the one thing I could play by myself at night because I'm an only child. So like I could never go to sleep. I was always up. I go to sleep at like 9 o'clock and I wouldn't actually fall asleep till like 2 a.m. So my grandma, when I moved in, Ouija board, and I would stay up playing with the damn thing all night, every night. So yeah, I kind of opened the door, I'm sure. Maybe a few doors.
I think we got Chuck on the air.
We do.
Yeah, Chuck? Hey!
It sounds like a party just north of me. What's happening over there?
Chuck
We're
sounds
hanging
like
out
Keith
on the
Jackson, the famous sportscaster Keith Jackson. Hello, Chuck. This is Keith Jackson.
No, there's only one Keith Jackson, and that's not me.
Yeah. That voice present.
Hey, Big Chuck, I wanted to say thank you for everything that you do behind the scenes with Spaced Out Radio and helping us out, gathering radio stations, getting our content out there. I mean, you putting us on KZFX and K-Dune up in Oregon has been just phenomenal for our reach and our growth, and you deserve a lot of credit for taking a chance on this radio show, my friend.
Well, it starts with a product, and that's the bottom line, is having a product that people can get into and listen to, and there's a lot of product out there that's not really listenable, and that has that has a reach at a almost a subatomic level, because there's you have a lot of people that are naysayers in what they experience in the paranormal, but science has caught up to the myth, whereas in the 15th and 16th and 1700s, or earlier and up until the 19th century, it was more hearsay than anything else. But science has actually caught up to where we are today, and more people find it acceptable to talk about their own experiences, and shows like this give people that platform to really realize that it is okay, and there are other experiences that people have, and they don't have to be ashamed or embarrassed or feel uncomfortable about it, because it is a fact that these things exist, and cinema certainly has supported what we see and hear, although they tend to, exaggerate it a bit. But the show's been fantastic. I think it's been a great show and a great platform, and being live the way it is, allows a lot of creativity, especially with guests and people that come on, knowing that this is a live platform and not something that's pre-recorded. Because the energy is different. When you're doing a show and you're taping it, and you're taping it, it's very difficult to get. It's very difficult to get that energy there. It takes a lot of practice, and it doesn't always work out. And more often than not, it doesn't. It tends to be lost in translation. So when you have a platform like this, it's always fantastic, because we're different from one moment to the next, and when you have a live interaction, the energy is far better. So
it's very spontaneous.
That engages the audience. It is, and it engages the audience because like I've said to Dave in the past, we're a very human. As human beings, we are subconscious to the other side of the phone or who's ever talking to us. As an example, when you make a phone call and you want to talk, and I've told this today, I said, when you make a phone call to a business or somebody, you want to talk to somebody about a problem you're having, of course you can't. And the reason why you can't is because everything is on
computer voice. It's recorded. You aren't talking to anybody, and it adds to a level of frustration. People get upset. You get mad. So I just want to talk to somebody about my problem, and you can't. So when you actually call somebody in business and somebody actually answers, it's more of a novelty, but your response to them is very different because you're talking to a human being. The same thing is true in radio. When you know you're listening to a broadcast that somebody's actually there, there's been a lot of psychological research on the fact that people act and respond differently when they know there actually is somebody there, as in a call-in show or even a news program, That's one of the things outside of how CKOW used to report their news, the fact that somebody was there reporting it, engaged the listener. Now, they created the term when it leads, it bleeds, but the fact remains that there are people talking, and that's what pulls things together for other people to enjoy the program, whatever the subject is, which is great. It's not tied down to one thing, which I think is fantastic.
An interesting thing about radio. Yeah, one of the most interesting things about radio is we're pre-programmed to hear in our ear first. So it reaches our brain quicker when we're not seeing visuals. Because going back generations, when we were in the jungle and actual hunter-gatherers, we used our ears to hear approaching predators or prey. So we're hardwired. So when we hear things, it enters our brain and affects us more in the flight or fight response or in just understanding, even before anything with visual. Because our eyes are not geared towards seeing from far distances in the dark or whatever. It's our ears that give us the first response, like a first responder.
Well, this is Dr. Dre responding to what Ian was saying. Because of my visual impairment and understanding and being in broadcasting for many years, I always marveled at the fact of Orson Welles' The World was a theater of the mind, and I always understood that radio, and even as it's transgressed now to audio and visual in certain parts of radio and or internet broadcasting, you get to see and hear it. But the number one thing is to stimulate the ear and the brain through what the sonics of what's being said and what you're feeling is what brings forth that grasp of pulling you in as a listener. And as a broadcaster, the job is to actually paint the picture so that the listener can sit back and go, wait a minute, wow, I've experienced something like that. So now when we fall to the plane, as you were saying, coming from the 15th to 16th century of what paranormal was, it was always there. All these things have always existed. But now with the technology now bringing it forth, it normalizes it. So it's no longer a strange occurrence. That's why when we were just discussing UFOs aren't strange. They've always been here and they always will be here. But now it's because you can actually have some sense of recognition visually, but it's always been the sonics of your ears. You usually hear it before you see it. Like even in a horror movie, when you're watching a horror movie, you hear and you turn. And in that turning, you're trying to justify what you just heard. Because if you see it coming at you, it's horrifying, but it's more horrifying when it's usually in the dark. That's why horror movies work so well. When the lights go down, it's dim, and they're walking slow, and they're trying not to make so much noise. Then there's that one strange noise to your left, and then the action just takes off. So the same thing happens on radio. It's like you want to make sure whatever's being said and people hear it. Like I said, I give credit to Orson Welles in War of the Worlds. That's what the whole point. That's why it was so phenomenal what he did. And he didn't even do. There was nothing to happen, but it was in a studio. So when you could do that, that's what always attracted me to be a broadcaster.
The War of the Worlds. I mean, people swear they saw the spaceship, and it was radio. People swear they saw it. They know exactly what it looked like. So that's one of the funny things about horror movies. A lot of times, in the 80s there was this whole gore period, but today, we tone that down and we even don't show things. Like there's a big scene of Michael Myers where he beat in the new Halloween where he beats a woman to death with a hammer, and all we hear is the sound. And in our mind, we think we've seen it. We just imagine this horrible thing. But anything we show on screen can't be as bad as what's going on in our heads.
Well, there's a good movie on Netflix called Bird Box with I forgot the actress's name. But it's so compelling because the whole movie is based on being in the dark and visual impairment, and that you have to cover your eyes to see what you see. Yeah, you have to step in from the dark. Sandra Bullock. Yeah, and I saw the movie. Well, I've heard the movie, and it was very well done, very, very well done. But it was based on what I heard, not that I actually visually saw the movie because, as I said, I'm visually impaired. So,
but what you're talking about, and what we're all looking at here and listening to, is a throwback to what used to be. You know, in the horror genre, some of the most effective movies didn't show you anything. They didn't show you anything. I'll give you an example. There were several movies. You know, listen, there were some crazy movies that people put out in horror and whatever. You know, the Vincent Price genre. You had all of those different movies. But there were several movies that didn't have any visual effects. It was all done psychologically through what you saw, but mostly what you heard. And you mentioned earlier about, you know, how a lot of this medium that today has become visual. It's an interesting thing when you think about it. If you pull the audio away from a picture you're watching, it's just a picture you're watching and the impact is gone. If you take that same picture you're watching and you pull the picture but leave the sound, you're still going to watch it because you're listening to it. And if you take the picture away but you hear the audio, people have a tendency to still stay with it because they hear something. And if you take the video and leave the video and take the audio away, people just turn it off. And so we are, you know, definitely listening to things all the time. And for, you know, shows like what Dave's doing, and I'm not talking about just the you know, listen, there's a lot of talk out there. There's no question about that. And there's something for everybody. But when you talk about something such as this, in this subject, it affects people in a different way. You know, people are more in tune, because there's a lot of people out there, I feel, that have had these experiences, have seen these things, but don't talk about it because there's no place or no outlet, or, you know, there's a lot of stuff online, but you can be anonymous online. But to actually hear somebody talking about their experiences, you know, adds a different dimension to everything.
You know, one of the main differences between this show and you know, let's say Ancient Aliens on History Channel or any of the other shows, most of the people that come on and the hosts and the people that talk about all these experiences that other people have had, telling stories and tell their theories. The one thing about this show is you have someone who actually experienced it. So the questions and the answers and the perspectives of someone who's actually had an experience is very different from the conjecture that's put out by even Giorgio Tsoukalos, you know, and these people. You know, when you've been through it, it's a different conversation, and this creates a safe space for people to just speak openly about it because they know there's other people here that have experienced what they have, and that makes the show very different.
And what it also does is that when you have others talking about something such as ghosts and seeing things and being affected by an environment or an area, you know, when you hear other people talking about it, people start to realize, you know, this isn't a joke. I mean, like I mentioned that to Dave a few days ago. I said, you know, science has helped this subject move so far forward, not only just out of the darkness, but also out of the stigma that science fiction has created. You know, if you're good writers and stuff like that, that's okay. But, you know, science fiction and movies and made-for-TV projects have really, you know, in some ways created a monster in a different light. It made it less credible, hokey. People who believed in that, they were goofy. But this was science fiction that was bringing that on. Now that we have science fact and people are comfortable or more comfortable with discussing these things, I think, you know, a lot of these sightings and appearances and apparitions are becoming more commonplace, being reported. You know, there's no question that there's there's some areas in the world that are very haunted. For instance, Gettysburg. You know, there's a lot of documentation that supports that fact, and now we have science fact bringing that into light, where we've actually seen credible pictures, video, and it's not just hearsay or eyewitnesses, you know, getting their information from somebody else, but we're able to now substantiate it. And so there are places that do have that kind of energy. You know, there were certain parts of, you know, battlefields in World War II, areas that had seen great losses of life or had disturbances that were always there, cold spots, that have been written in history that still remain today. And the fantastic thing about the show is it shows those things.
Well, that's very encouraging.
Some greatest scientific discovery, I think, years was by far the discovery that we always, whenever we have a paranormal experience, there's an EMF detector, electromagnetic field detector. And we find out that the electromagnetic field goes up. We get a reading, a high reading of electromagnetic energy. Now they've tell us, you know, they've been able to put memory or data on disks and storage disks that we use with our computer. But now they found out they can take an electromagnetic field and store data inside it. That is the essence of what a soul is. And though they're afraid to go there, they have proven the not that the existence of life after death or that a soul could live, but scientifically it is now theoretically possible, where before it was just faith. But they can't store data in an electromagnetic.
And on that note, gentlemen, we're going to hold off. We're through 2 hours here, the birthday show, celebrating Dave Scott, yours truly, Ian Holt. We got Chuck. We got Dre. We got Goof on. Packed house here. And your calls as well. Coming up in hour 3. We're going the distance tonight on Spaced Out Radio, so stay tuned. At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Come hang out with Spaced Out Radio, where we own the night. This is Carl. You can follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, and during the show, use the hashtag Spaced Out Radio to chat with us live. On Instagram, at Dave Scott SOR. On Facebook, give our page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. SOR archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. Come join us, or I will come join you. See you at your window.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot THAL. Come tune in to SOR, where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com, where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com, and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
Find your escape where time has no limits. It's about living today and cherishing the heritage of yesterday. A spirit of adventure for what is new, with the nostalgia of the past. Your timepiece is a reflection of who you are. Life surrounded by beauty from the world around us to the soul within. EscapeWatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
The Call of the Wild is in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is one of the hottest bars and restaurants in the city. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose will rock you like a hurricane all night long. Great food with everything on the menu at $6.95 near the corner of Nelson and Granville. Get your horns up and come rock with us. The Moose Vancouver, the official rocking bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Canada's largest UFO conference is ready to roll in Toronto this September 21st and 22nd at the Alien Cosmic Expo. This year is about the experience. Listen to the stories of Dave Scott, Travis Walton, Paula Harris, Grant Cameron, Ryan Stacey, Richard Dolan, Leslie Mitchell-Clark, and more. Get your tickets now at aliencosmicexpo.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
From the mile-high mountains of Colorado to all of you around the world, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I invite you to stick around SpacedOutRadio.com for Saturday and Sunday nights where I host Spaced Out Weekend. Let me take you on a wild ride of weird and strange topics, from ghosts and ETs to remote viewing, psychic phenomena, and so much more. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time on Spaced Out Weekend, where we own the night.
The freedom to post what you want, when you want. That's the social media freedom you need. Social Media Freedom is the free app in your app store. No need to worry about going to jail or being shadow banned any longer. It's the freedom to say what you feel. The freedom to know Big Brother isn't watching. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. Download from your app store today.
We are getting ready to relaunch the SOR Space Travelers Club at spacedoutradio.com. For $5 a month, you can join us for a plethora of features found nowhere else. Hang out in a private chat room during the show and after party. You can check out some exclusive content and a store specifically for you, as well as a private listener forum where you can post your thoughts, stories, and pictures. The SOR Space Travelers Club, coming soon to spacedoutradio.com.
Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
On the first Tuesday of every month, I encourage you to come along for a journey with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You. Together, we will take a look at how to access the highest expression of yourself and change your life. Consciousness, ET contact, health, and wellness, we can talk about it all. So come along for a spiritual ride with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Welcome back to the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for being with us this weekend on our website, spacedoutradio.com. You can tune in to Tessa Nicole Thomas and Spaced Out Weekend, 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern. She gets going. Hi to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates. I know Chuck's going to kill me for this, but I'm going to do it anyways. KZFX, 93.7 FM in Ridgecrest, California. KDNF, AM 1560 in Dangerfield, Texas. KDUN, AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon. WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia, and UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans. On the digital side, hi to everyone listening in on Revolution Radio and Deep Talk Radio. Good to have you with us. Remember, if you've missed some of our shows, you can go to our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. He took it easy on me tonight. Meow. Meow is your password. The Clam sets the password each and every night, right here on the mighty SOR. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. You can still tune in the show, but the Gavinator is working on it. He says he's just a couple of days away from our official relaunch. It's the birthday show with Ian Holt. This is the third year in a row we've done this show. And I love having Ian on because we celebrate May 24th. He's a 72 edition. I'm a 73. We got Dr. Dre, formerly of MTV Raps, and
wait a minute, Dave, I got the happy birthday song. I got the happy birthday song for the third hour. Since you dragged me into the third hour. Happy birthday, Spaced Out. Happy birthday, Spaced Out. Happy birthday, Dave. Happy birthday, Ian. Happy birthday. That's it. You got 3 theme songs for the price of one.
I love
that means
it.
I have to come back next year.
I'm taking the recording and I'm putting it up on iTunes tonight.
Do we get royalties for that? That's what I want to know.
I would be careful of that because a guy named Mr. Wonder might come looking for you.
All right. All right, we got Chuck, who is the owner of KZFX and KDUN. Chuck, I got a question for you. This comes from Goddess Michelle in Twitterverse here. She is asking, what is your favorite cryptid, or do you enjoy ghosts and UFOs more?
I'd probably go with the ghosts and UFOs more, only because, I grew up in part of Texas where that was a lot. It was seen a lot. You had the Marfa Lights. You had a lot of things that were seen in East Texas towards Louisiana. And, of course, a lot of areas there in Texas are haunted, as well as, like, parts of Tennessee and Pennsylvania and other places. I'd stick with that. For me, that's where it's at for me. And it never ceases to amaze that, there's always a new place. There's always a new reported sighting. There's always something out there. We know what the usual suspects are, so to speak. But with shows like Spaced Out and people out there, reaching out, it's becoming more comfortable for people to talk about these things and not be scared to talk about it. So, for me, it's definitely ghosts and UFOs, no question.
Nice. Dre, I got a question for you coming in from our chat room from Trip. He is asking, have you ever had to change rooms after a show from activity in any of the rooms while touring? And what was the strangest activity you've encountered while on the road?
Well, one of the strangest ones would be described in even the second hour when I told you the story about doing MTV Spring Break and Yo MTV Raps in Lake Havasu, Arizona, and that whole incident where the air conditioner. I invited a very beautiful woman from Detroit to spend the week with me in Lake Havasu, Arizona, which was obviously the first time I've ever been there. And it was about 175 degrees in the desert, and every bit of that heat. And I went to my room, and we had a break after being outside all that time. They said, okay, we'll see you for dinner later. Don't worry about it. You did a great job this day, because it was just so hot. And I went back to my room, and I was very endeared to this young lady. And we had a very good time for a very period of time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the air conditioner just shut off. But yet, while I was engaged with this young woman, I felt this cold thing like around me. And I mean, 3.5 hours later, I have to brag. It was a nice experience. So I called down to the front desk to let them know that the air conditioner went off, but it wouldn't go through. So I kind of got dressed and went downstairs to let them know what had happened. They said, oh, we'll send somebody up. He said, but that's impossible because each room's not individually air conditioned. It's a central air conditioning system. I said, well, it isn't working in my room. So I was sitting there, and she was in the shower. She came out of the shower, started to get dressed, and got a knock on the door. And the guy came in, and he said, there's nothing wrong with the air conditioning. I said, yes, it is. It's not on. Didn't you feel the heat? So he walks over to the thermostat, and he makes a little adjustment, and he goes, up. There you go. And I said, no, dude, you don't hear anything. Nothing going on. He said, oh, it's okay. You'll feel it. It's okay. And he walks out the room. And we look at each other and goes, is it me or is he like crazy? So I go to grab the phone to call down to the front desk, and I hear a knock at the door. And I go to the door again, and it's another guy standing there and go, hey. He said, yeah, I'm here to check on the air conditioner, see what's going on, that it was off. I said, yeah, but the guy was just here. He said, what guy was just here? I said, there was a guy just here telling us, and he went to the thermostat. He said, there was nothing wrong with it. He said, there's no guy. I'm the only guy that works here. And we just looked at each other, and we're like, what the hell was that? You never know. And that was like one of the
story. I mean, it could, they classify hauntings as residual, intelligent, poltergeist, and inhuman. And that story could be a residual or an intelligent haunt. Did he set it up, or is it just something on a replay that everyone stays in that room that happens? It's interesting.
No, I pretty much thought he was enjoying the activity he was watching, so he shut the air conditioner off. He could come and see you for himself.
Well, there's energy ley lines across the country, across the world, and they call these, when the ley lines cross, it creates an electromagnetic cage, they call it. So in our brains, all our memories are just electromagnetic energy in the brain. And if we walk through an electromagnetic cage, and they say and there's limestone and running water in the area, you walk through that cross of ley lines, a cage, and if you have an intense experience, it can download or upload, as you want to say, from our brains an experience. And then every time someone walks through that cage, it's played again on a loop because the data is stored in the cage. And that, they think, is the beginning of a residual haunt.
Very interesting.
Well,
Chuck,
I'd like to be haunted again.
Chuck, I got another question for you because I know you got to run here, my friend. And this one comes from Catherine, and she is asking, if you, knowing your ties to Hollywood, were given any horror franchise to take over and make it your own, which one would it be?
I don't think I would go with anything traditional. You've got the old franchise. You've got two different types of franchise. You have what was on television, and you had what was produced on film. And those are two different things. For instance, for television back in the 1960s, it would have been things like Dark Shadows that was produced, that was well done and well acted. And of course, the film side of things, you had a lot of these movies that were really hokey. But as far as a franchise, things like Halloween, the franchise, that's geared to scare you. That's a person, that's a thing. But I think probably the franchise I would probably do would probably be Night Gallery.
Excellent.
Because you could do different vignettes in different situations, and you wouldn't have to show anything scary. You wouldn't even have to need effects if it's scripted right and played out right. It could be just as effective as a monster at your door.
Interesting. And I never thought about that. Ian, what about you?
Chuck, would that be anything? I was going to ask Chuck, would that be anything like Black Mirror that they have now?
Yeah, I know they're trying to reboot. It's like the Twilight Zone, and CBS is trying to reboot the Twilight Zone on CBS Interactive, and the unfortunate thing about it is that we're so I don't know how you say it. We're just so jaded by seeing all the effects.
Right.
All the horror movies, all this stuff. It's all effects. We're all it's so tired. I don't want to see another franchise that shows, another bloody effect or it's all CG now. There's nobody in front of you. It's a green screen and an actor with a bunch of mothballs stuck to him, and he's a monster. That to me is not classic horror. It's not classic in the psychological, thrillers of certain films that were fantastic. I'll give you an example of how psychology played well in the 1960s during the Cold War. There were a number of films that were out there that didn't get a lot of play only because they didn't have the big bombs and the smoking guns and the flashing lights and all the big budget. There were a number of films that just didn't do well. The day after, I think it was 1977, 78, that ABC Films produced to show the effects of a nuclear war and what would happen if we would drop bombs in the middle of the country. Well, that showed everybody what the effects were and how people would be burned up, whatever. But then you had a movie around the same time that came out called Testament, and it didn't show you the bombs. It didn't show you the explosions. It showed you the effect, the psychological effect of what that was all about. And
I would compare that to the effect of what Silence of the Lambs did with Hannibal Lecter, because that was more of a psychological thriller than just actually just the gore of it all. It's like he really, Anthony Hopkins was amazing how he really got inside you and really
he got into your head.
Jodie Foster in that movie. He got into your head.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond anything, because at the end of the movie when he hangs up and says, "Bye, Clarice," and he's walking away. I don't know about you, but I looked at the theater across the room and said, "That cat playing around here? Wait a minute. Hannibal Lecter's still out there. And he's walking away whistling and happy.
And that's
just something that really scares you.
For me, the franchise that I would have created was, if you remember the original Fright Night with the late, great Roddy McDowall playing Peter Vincent.
Yes. I was about to say that.
I thought it was a missed opportunity that you could take that character that he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for playing, and how often that happened in a horror movie. But the interesting thing is, like just a quick example is, we always talk about zombies and all that coming from voodoo, but yet voodoo is actually positive magic, and the evil where the zombies come from is actually called hoodoo, and we never see that in movies. The reality, the realness that they brought to the vampire, I thought, wouldn't it be great that this Peter Vincent from the film world is called to investigate werewolves, zombies in other movies, and that he brings to it what the film world told us, and he has to learn that it's the real truth of it, the origins of the monster.
Wouldn't that also be like the Night Stalker, which was classic television?
Exactly. Yeah, it could exactly be the Night Stalker. I mean, how that has been remade as a movie. That was one of the greatest. I mean, in my childhood, that was like the greatest series. I mean, it was the inspiration for X-Files and so much more.
Right.
But Darren McGavin in that seersucker suit and that straw hat was, and he to me was even the beginning of Indiana Jones and Blade Runner, because we hadn't seen a hero that gets beat up in every episode. He has no powers.
Right, but I mean,
He's scared all the time.
Exactly. And that's the
vulnerable.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I had the chance many, many years ago on a show I was working on. I had a chance to talk to Larry Hagman, and I had a discussion with Larry. He was on the show. We were doing some interview with him, and I asked Larry specifically about one of the movies that he had done with. It was a black and white 1964 film called Failsafe. Now, Failsafe didn't get as much play because another movie came out that basically trumped that whole film. They came out around the same time, and unfortunately, Dr. Strangelove had the bigger fold in that. But that's a movie that's basically psychological, because you don't see any bombs go off, you don't see any explosions, you don't see people being wiped out. It's all done. All these effects are done with the sound effects and a telephone, and taking tight shots of people's reactions. That's what it was all done that way. And so I asked him about that, and he said that it was, the set was larger than life, so it was easy as an actor for him to really be a part of the film, because there wasn't a whole lot. It was just him and the camera and a few other people and Henry Fonda, and it was just those two talking to each other, creating that environment of that we're drawn into it. Darren McGavin on the television side of it, you kind of rooted for the almost the anti-hero, and you had the characters is what people enjoyed the most. I mean, you can have whatever you want, but it's the people that make that happen. It really drives that whole essence of what we have a reaction to, like Roddy McDowell. People forget about his experience, and he was in was it The Legend of Hell House? I think Roddy McDowell was in.
It was a great movie. He wasn't even 5 feet tall.
What's so genius about Darren McGavin in that thing, as Ian was explaining about the seersucker suit, when they did do the remake of Night Stalker, and they made the guy so modern, they updated it, and they gave you all the technology and the cell phone. It destroyed the whole essence of what it was. It's that suit and his relentlessness and he was a reporter trying to find the ultimate story that couldn't be explained. He was always trying to solve the unsolved case of why this happened.
Right.
And he always found himself in a place that...
Right. And he never let that identity go. You knew he was a reporter. You knew what he was doing. And he never... He wasn't a secret agent. And you're right. What they did was they basically made him, a 007 agent by giving all these gadgets and stuff, and that's not what he was about. He wasn't like Columbo, where Columbo was almost, he was, disheveled at times, and you think that he wasn't paying attention when in fact he He was. But
that was the genius. That's why Columbo worked so well, because Columbo didn't have the gadgets. He didn't have the... Right. It was all about his intellect, and his greatest weapon was between his ears. And that's what you miss when you watch the stuff today. Right. That's why they have to put everything on the screen so you can see it. Because if you take the time out to think about it, that's the true challenge and the horror and the suspense and the thrill.
And you brought up a good point. We talk about All in the Family and the Jeffersons. You know, they made it a point to make the look the same. Can you imagine if they had done this with the original scripts in a contemporary setting?
It wouldn't. Oh my God! Afraid of that.
It would have been a disaster. I mean, I was, I'm a little critical on the lighting because, shows like that used to be bathed in a wall of light because the cameras were tube cameras, and they needed a lot more light, foot candle wise, to be able to produce that image. This was shot a little darker than I would have cared. And it might have been an offset of the characters. You have a better sense of the characters. And what I love about those types of shows, when they're live like that, anything can happen, and that you're on edge. And when you think about
it did happen with Jamie Foxx, though it did, which was brilliant. But what I really, like I said, what really threw me off is when they beeped out the words. I said, that's not live. That's like going to a play and then someone's going to say something and you have people go, oh, no, you can't say that. And then you go back into the play. Why would you stop it down? Because then you're bringing more attention to the word. We're not realizing in the original teleplay of the Jeffersons and Art and All in the Family, that word was used not as an accent, but it was used to make a point in context. It wasn't just used to, I'm just going to say this to, to make people go crazy. No, Richard Pryor was doing it for years, and it was common language of that moment and that time, and especially of that in between Queens and on the east side of Manhattan. So when you beat that out from that teleplay, that was a distraction to the artist. That was like, why would they do that?
And it was a slap in the face to the un-PC nature of those shows that they originally aired, because they didn't even care about PC, and they were about the message. And the message was, yes, we all get bad thoughts, but we don't have to say them. And many times in the context of how we use them. In the movie Green Book, there was a huge fight between Mahershala Ali and I forget the actor who played Aragon in
Viggo Mortensen.
They asked at a screening, a person in the audience asked, "Why didn't you stay at the same hotel from the beginning? You were working together." And he said, "Well, this was a time when they still called a black man the N-word." And Mahershala Ali said he didn't want to talk to Viggo for the rest of the tour. In fact, they don't talk to each other now. And the reason was that Viggo used the word, and Mahershala was very angry at him for using it. But Viggo tweeted, "In a historical content, we have to teach from people that don't know, and we can't have only black professors using the word in a learning context," which he did. And I think in this show, again, it was a learning context. It wasn't used in a vicious way.
Right. And on that note, gentlemen, we got to shut things down for break here at the bottom of the hour. The birthday show, Ian Holt, Dave Scott, and some friends. Little Richie G, I swear you and I will talk this next half hour. Come back on Space Out Radio.
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch? Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Coming up this September 21st and 22nd, all UFO eyes will be focused on Toronto for the 4th Annual Alien Cosmic Expo. Come listen to some of the biggest names and experiencers in ufology. Travis Walton, Paul Hellyer, Richard Dolan, Paula Harris, Grant Cameron, Randy Kramer, and Spaced Out Radio's own Dave Scott. Tickets are on sale now at aliencosmicexpo.com.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
The freedom to post what you want, when you want. That's the social media freedom you need. Social Media Freedom is the free app in your app store. No need to worry about going to jail or being shadow banned any longer. It's the freedom to say what you feel. The freedom to know Big Brother isn't watching. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. Download from your app store today.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio. You can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
Did you know Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi there, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I'm here to take you on a paranormal journey each Saturday and Sunday night. Why change the station when you have it all right here? Together, we'll hang out and share some strange and scary stories. And don't forget, we have Psychic Sundays as well, so come tune in Spaced Out Weekend. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com, where we own the night.
Looking for the stories of the strange and weird that you will find hard to find anywhere else? Check out the SOR Newswire on our website. Our writers, led by Captain Shirk, are scouring the world for the oddest and most bizarre stories we can find. Everything from weird crime to suspenseful and paranormal. We're working hard for you to bring you the most intriguing news of your day. Check out the SOR Newswire at spacedoutradio.com today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters, hanging out on the birthday show with Ian Holt, Dr. Dre, and from Goof On Radio, Little Richie Giordano. Reminder to all of you, if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can always check out our website. It's currently under construction. Not much to look at now, but the Gavinator says in a few short days, it's going to be a beauty. Going to be a beauty. So stay tuned for that. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Welcome back there, Dave. I have to say to you and Ian, I just ran out to my local convenience store and I picked up a couple of Hostess cupcakes for each one of you. I picked up ones, the snowball ones, so that one and the chocolate one, so you guys can split it. So I put like 4 candles in each one of the things. So happy birthday to you guys.
Thank you so much. Now, hey,
Rich,
you guys
aren't going to get a chance to eat these things, but I will.
Oh, well, you enjoy them for us. I'll gain the weight just because you're eating them. Hey, Rich, right before we had to say before we bring Rich in, we had to say goodbye to Chuck. He had some business to take care of tonight. But thank you, Chuck, for coming on in. He's the owner of KZFX and KDUN Radio, where we broadcast. So we love Chuck around here, obviously. And he's turned into quite a mentor for me. And I think that's what we need in order to make this show go a little bit bigger and better each and every night. Rich, right before the break, we were talking about horror movie franchises. If you had your choice, which one would you go with?
I can't speak. I like, I would do the nightmare movies. And I know they got a little crazy, but I could make them better, I think. And I don't know why these movies don't get made better. But I think I could turn Freddy Krueger into a better dream guy. You know what I mean? So I would like to take that over and redo.
What would you do?
Because Freddy Krueger in that first one, the first Nightmare on Elm Street, Dr. Dre speaking, just seriously, he scared the living out of me. I didn't go to sleep for days because that's what it was supposed to do. It wasn't supposed to be a gory thing. It was supposed to be he gets you where you're most vulnerable, in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point of it. He was the boogeyman. He was the real Sandman. He was the original that. And once it really took off and it started making a lot of money, again, they had to make a better roller coaster. And instead of when you go to make a better roller coaster, you forget the original thing that made you very excited about the roller coaster. And I say this about a roller coaster. The most scary roller coaster I've ever been in is the ones that drag you into a dark place and you don't know and can't see the dips. And you're just holding on and you're scared. You're wide-eyed. And I remember that first time I went to Space Mountain. No, when I went to Space Mountain, Space Mountain, because what made it scary was when you first go, and then all the lights hit you, and then when it tips off to the side and it goes down, you're in complete darkness. So you're like, what? You don't know where the turns are coming, and when you're finished, you're breathing heavier because the fear was you couldn't see everything coming at you. And that's what Nightmare on Elm Street was. It was the beauty of that whole thing. And who knew? He killed Johnny Depp better than anybody else we ever seen.
That's right. But know what I want to do with that movie is taking you to his childhood where he was bullied by his parents. Everybody bullied him. He was a skinny little dweeb kid, but he was evil inside. You know, they wound up burning him all. All the neighbors burned him, right? Isn't that what the legend is?
He was a custodian, and he was accused of something. And they burned the school down or something. That's how he was burned.
So I would like.
Do you guys remember that song by Will Smith when he was still before he became the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You know, remember his song "Nightmare on My Street"?
Yep.
One of my first weird experiences that I could ever remember was when that song came out. I used to sleep with my radio on, and at about 2:30 to 3 o'clock every single night for about 4 weeks, that song would come on, and I would wake up listening to that song right at near the end where Freddy starts yapping away where he's going to kill them and starts chasing them around, and it would scare the daylights out of me each night. And finally, I got to the point where I just couldn't keep my radio on at night anymore because it was weirding me out that it was like every night at the exact same time that I was waking up to that song being played.
That was a weird silence right there.
I was going to say I could compare that to actually listening to Thriller from Michael Jackson and hearing it one way and then being like really like when Vincent Price comes on, you're going, whoa, this is really deep. But then when he actually did the mini movie video for it, it's like you saw what his imagination saw with it. And it was like, wow. I mean, the dance sequencing was all amazing. But I'm talking about the offshoots where they went to the graveyard and the crypt and they brought everybody up. I mean, it was like, this is serious. Like, whoa. So it was entertaining, but it kept in the realm of being a horror movie, which is why everyone loved it so much.
Oh, yeah. I think if I were to own a franchise, I think I would go with Jaws. If there is if there is a franchise that scared the daylights out of me, it's Jaws. To this, my sisters sat me down when I was 7 years old, and they made me watch Jaws. And to this day, guys, I will not go in the ocean. I refuse. I am so freaked out about, everything. Even when I am in a swimming pool, if I am the only one in that pool at that time, I hear it. I hear that, dun it, dun it, dun it. I hear it. And I'm like, that's it.
If you were anywhere near the Long Island Sound,
but not one
last past week, we have a great white shark looming around right now. That they tagged. Yeah, that over 500 pound, 10-foot long, great white shark. But here's the thing I don't get with people in Jaws and the beach. They know the sharks are out there, and yet you go back out there and keep swimming. How do you do that? It's a simple process. Shark, water, human, land. Where's there a problem? Tell me where the problem is.
Well, see, part of the problem is
all day long.
I'm not an appetizer. I am a meal. Okay? I am a meal. And I could be swimming with all of you guys, and they're going to look, that shark's going to look at me and say, come here, Canadian bacon. We're going to take you down. You're the choice.
Well, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dave.
Everyone get ready, because as the climate warms, all the reefs are dying, which means there's going to be no fish. That means the sharks are going to be swimming into shore, and we are the main course.
Mm-hmm. Well, not me. But unless those sharks are driving U-Haul or moving van, I'm not going anywhere near it. I don't have to wait to see the thing to understand what's in there.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember Land Shark?
Land Shark.
Sharknado.
Postman.
Or Sharknado, yes.
No, it sounds like the land. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Land Shark. Oh, come on in. No, when Belushi's on the toilet with the reel trying to catch him.
Candygram.
Right.
Candygram.
Yeah.
Who is it? Oh, we all just dated ourselves.
Do you know the voice of that was Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd did Deadpan better than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Because he's a good Canadian.
The Bassomatic 2000.
Right.
Dan, you incredible slut.
Gentlemen, we got about 10 minutes left. We got about 10 minutes left here in tonight's show, and this has been an absolute blast so far. Dre,
well, Dan, I gotta.
Yeah, you ask anything you want.
Dave, I got to give you the birthday question.
Yes, birthday question.
Say that again, Ian.
I said, what? So far, it sounds like he thinks we're going to crash and burn in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he's talking about. But Dave, I got to ask you a paranormal question.
Sure.
What has been one of your? Have you ever had a birthday paranormal experience? This goes to you and Ian.
Oh, a birthday paranormal experience.
Or indoor UFO or any other Sasquatchian. Besides going out looking for Sasquatch tomorrow, which is a lot of fun. I should send you some of those brief jerkies up there, but that's a lot of fun.
Well,
when I think of my,
go ahead, Ian.
When I think of my age, I always have an out-of-body experience. Can't be me. I can't be this old. I still feel 18. What's going on?
Well, thank you very much, Freaky Friday.
Well, I'm still waiting for my alien friend Carl to reappear at the window. He hasn't. I'm still disappointed in that.
Pretty strange. Okay.
He will.
We got a lot of new listeners, and Dre, I'll tell you this story. On April 20th, happened to be 420 of all dates. April 20th, 2015.
Yeah.
I am broadcasting my show, and I got my studio in my old house, and it's right beside my front door. And for some reason, for 3 days in a row, like if you went outside my house right now, I got lights on. I always like having lights on. I don't know why, just the way I am. But I had forgotten to turn my outdoor lights on for 3 days in a row. And on this third night, as I'm broadcasting the show, we were only a 2-hour show back then, and it was about 10:17 p.m. when I'm interviewing a gentleman named Harvey Kraft, and we're talking about Buddha of all topics. When I saw something out of the corner of my eye move out the window. And my first reaction was, oh, great, friends coming over. They forget I got the radio show. They're coming over for coffee, going to come to the front door, and my dogs are going to start barking. And I got a little Chiweenie dog where, I mean, damn it, man, a crosswind makes that dog bark about half an hour. And long story short, there's no knock at the door. I'm not hearing the dogs bark. So Harvey starts talking, and I swivel my chair, put my microphone on mute, swivel my chair to look out the window, which is only a couple feet away from me. And my eyes focus to see who's out the window, and there's an alien gray standing right there staring back at me. And I did what any man would. I jumped back and screamed. Now, Harvey can't hear anything because my microphone's on mute. And I jump up. As quick as I jump back, I jump up because this thing is gone. And I jump up to the window and I start looking like, where the hell did this thing go? Because if it was a person, I would have seen him go down my driveway or cut across my lawn or cut towards my front door. Because it was just that fast, a split second. But whatever that was, it was gone. And
You had
so,
an Amityville horror moment.
so that's how we got the legend of Carl, the alien, around here.
Mm-hmm. I still call it an Amityville horror moment.
You could do that.
Remember that movie, the book, the Amityville Horror? Yeah, where they said the thing was standing at the window and the eyes were glowing, and the people said, "What?" But here's my question: when people see those type of things, and they say, I mean, and these like aliens or paranormal beings come in and give you a message like "Get out," why do people stay?
Because you don't believe what you're hearing. You're like, what did I just
Really?
hear? Yeah, it comes so fast you don't realize it. It has no effect really, unless it
If I
touches
hear
you.
"Get out" in my ears, I go, "Baby, you got to pack. We need to go someplace else. This isn't meant for us. You know, I thought this was a good place, so we can always find something better. There's something there telling you to get out. No, leave. Bye."
Want to hear something weird? 1981, George and I think her name was Nancy, the Lutzes, who lived in that house, were at my house. They came over in Phoenix, Arizona during an Amway meeting. They were part of Amway in 1981. And my mom and dad say, whatever you do, don't talk about the ghosts. You know, I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, all right. When they came over, I was staring at them, seeing what was wrong with them. I'm like, oh, no. I can't believe that they had ghosts in their house. You know, it's weird seeing people like that.
Well, there was the spirits of what had happened in that house.
Right.
It's a funny thing because my first wife, my ex-wife, lives out there, and when the first thing I did when I started dating her, I said, I got to drive by the house. I want to see the house. I just want to see the house. I want to get scared. I just want to get scared. It's ridiculous. And when you drive by the house, it looks like any other house. And they say it's been restored and changed, and nothing is going on around it.
They changed the windows, and I'll tell you, when I was 6 years old, my dad took me over there during Lorraine and Ed Warren's investigation. So I got to meet them, and this was right after she took the famous Ghost Boy pic. So, I mean, and I think 10 years later, I was like 16 or 17, the people that had bought it, we used to go to the house and sneak into the boathouse on the property, and they used to call the police on us. So I made a deal with the property owner. If you let me in the house and let me see the house, my friend Andy and I won't come back. So she says, all right, do you have your word? I said, yes. So they showed us around the house. And it was like, I mean, walking around that house, we saw nothing. There was nothing there. But it was one of the most incredible experiences because you're thinking of the book and you're thinking what happened in this room and the fireplace and all these things, the window where the flies were, you know, all that stuff. It was, but the house is for sale again. It's going for $8,000. It's like a $3 million house. It's like a $3 million house. They're selling it for $800,000.
Would any of you move there?
I'd move there in an instant.
Wow.
I moved there and I bring a barbecue in the front and sell hot dogs and hamburgers. Come on in and check out the haunted house. Come on in. I got the haunted burger. I got the haunted hot dog. Come on.
Spirit weenies.
There you go. Free spirit weenies.
I mean, it's a beautiful house. It's beautiful.
That's what they say. It's a beautiful.
Wasn't it built on an...
But Lorraine, may she rest in peace, told me that she exorcised the demon from the house. In fact, the Vatican sent her a cross. If you want to hear the story, you could look up on Netflix, My Amityville Horror. It's a documentary where Lorraine tells about the investigation. And the Vatican sent her a cross to use because the demon there was so powerful that it had a piece of the true cross in it. And she still couldn't send the demon out of our realm. She just exorcised it from the house.
So the demon moved next door. And they couldn't find it because he was next door.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Gentlemen, we only got about 90 seconds left tonight. And I want to say thank you so much for another amazing birthday show. What a lot of
Thank
fun
you,
this
Dave.
has been.
Thank you,
Dr.
Rich.
Dre. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Ian.
Thanks
Ian,
for having me on.
Love you,
Ian, the
brother.
quarter wouldn't fit in the phone. The quarter wouldn't fit in the phone.
A quarter.
Just let you know. I started out with $1.
Right.
The last quarter won't fit.
Well,
but thanks for having me on, Dave. Like I said, anytime. Ian knows I'm open for this. Bar mitzvahs, social gathering. I'm waiting for the ghost box. I'm willing to do that. And, of course, we got to bring Rich back because we're going to have Rocky trivia and Creed trivia, ladies and gentlemen. So
nice.
Well, what I'm going to do is
don't forget to tip your waitresses. Don't forget to tip your waitresses on the way out. And we're doing veal on Thursday. Just let you know. Have a great night.
Hey, I'm going to make sure, if you're okay, I'm going to make sure that I can pass your number on to Rich because that way he can have you on his show as well.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Rich. Look forward to it.
All
I pity the fool who don't pass my number. I pity the
Let
fool.
me tell you something, brother. You better come on or I'll find you. I don't know if I should say that. What did I just say?
I
This
don't
hurts
know.
a lot, you know.
This is getting
kinda
really
crazy in there.
real.
It is.
Ian Holt.
David,
Ian
as
Holt.
always, spend my birthday with you.
Happy birthday, brother. We will do it all again next year.
Annual.
Hope I'm invited. I'm hoping I'm invited.
You can come on back. I'm going to close this thing out, guys. Give me 1 second here. Want to remind all of you that Tessa Nicole Thomas is back for Spaced Out Weekend, Saturday and Sunday night, going at 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern at spacedoutradio.com. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot THAL rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks this week to everybody putting up with my incredibly hoarse voice. Hopefully it'll be better on Monday, but thank you. If you're in the chat rooms, at work, in your cars, on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio, wherever you may be. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you to all of you for doing your part, making us bigger and better every single night. Because together, my friends, say it with me, we own the night. I will talk to you on Monday. Mr. Bumblefoot. We need a favor. We need you to take us home. Have a great weekend. Good night.